Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So I think we listened to Tejaka, who basically looked at different attributes of sensors, the noise, the sensitivity, accuracy, and those different attributes. When selecting sensors and when you're using those sensors in your project. So I'm looking at a different angle. So how do you compensate some of the errors, the problems with the range, problems with the behavior with different environmental factors? How do we compensate those issues by combining several sensors and kind of practical aspect of using those sensors? So it seems. It came up. Okay, good. Yeah, I think the accuracy is having a problem. So, okay, so this is called a sensor fusion. And if you look at what is ultimate sensor machine, the ultimate sensor machine is us, like human being. So human being use this concept called sensor fusion. We found out lately, but so we'll look at what is meant by sensor fusion. So as I said earlier, when we say sensor fusion, what we do is we will be using several sensors and we will be combining data coming from these sensors and using noise filtration, different algorithms to compensate some of the errors that we see in these sensors. So if you look at this diagram, so here I am using an accelerometer and a gyro, and from accelerometer what we are getting is acceleration, and from gyro what we are getting is the orientation. So there are different issues related to these sensors, and through sensor fusion what we are doing is we are compensating those errors and we are creating a combined output out of this. So in order to understand this, I think we have to get our hands dirty and look at a practical example. So this is one of those, and here what I am using is I am using a sensor called MPO 9250, which is a 9 degrees of freedom sensor. When I say 9 degrees of freedom, so this sensor uses 3 components. One is accelerometer. It has 3 axes, Y, X and Z. And again, it has a magnetometer, again 3 axes. And again, it has a gyroscope. So these are 3 sensors. That's why I'm calling this as a 9 degrees of freedom, because we have 9 values. And I have paired this with a Arduino Uno. And what Arduino Uno does is it has a I2C bus which connects into this sensor and transfer that signals into a computer using the USB serial bus. Right? So if you look at the wiring diagram, you can see that I'm using the SDA and SCL pins of this sensor, which I'm using for the I2C bus data transfer, and this sensor runs on 400 kilohertz, but the Arduino Uno runs on 200. So there's a compensation that I need to do, and I'm using A4 and A5 input analog inputs, and on Arduino, but I'm not doing anything, just transforming that signal into the type B USB serial port. So now let's look at sensor in detail. So this is, as I said, this is a 9 degrees of freedom sensor, and on the left side I have shown you the X, Y, Z and the gyro and the accelerometer inputs, and then we have the magnetometer down, and it feeds in the compass, which is it feeds in XYZ details into the signal condition, and you can see there's a component called digital motion processor, which really does the sensor fusion. This now inside this chip, this digital motion processor is available. So the sensor fusion happens on the chip. So it happens on the edge, on the sensor itself. So what it does is it gets all this information, like we are having 9 inputs, and it compensates errors and send it out through the I2C bus. So this is the kind of diagram of the MPU 9250, and we have 11 degrees of freedom motion driving devices. This is 9 a kind of chip. So okay, so in order to understand how this sensor fusion happens, we need to understand how these sensors are made of. So as I said earlier, the MPU 9250 is made up of 3 sensors. Two of those coming from InvenSense, that is the gyroscope and the accelerometer, and this is how the gyroscope is kind of created on the chip. So these are micro electromechanical systems, nano technology is being used. So what happens is, if you look at the right side picture, when this circuit, silicon wafer kind of rotate, the box create forces towards the kind of enclosure. So by measuring the capacitance, it shows the orientation and the forces, like where does this the mass create its forces. That's how the gyroscope works. And if you look at how the accelerometer works, it works, if you look at the bottom pictures, when the force applied, again it creates a capacitance and it converts into the electrical signals, and this is how the accelerometer works. And it has 3 axes, like it can measure X, Y, Z both, three axes. And problems with these sensors are, if you look at, there's a concept called gyroscope drift. What happens is, with the temperature and with the time, these the digital information that is produced by these sensors tend to vary. Now what is meant by drift is, there are 2 factors. Now sometimes these sensors tend to produce motion information, although the gyroscope is stationary over the time. And when the temperature rises, again the same thing happens. So these are the kind of errors that happens with gyroscopes, the MEMS gyroscopes. So again, the same thing happens with accelerometer. If you look at the graph, it has plotted accelerometer and the gyroscope both in sine waves and a linear wave as well. So what we do is we fuse this information and create a kind of combined view, right? So we are applying a noise filter, because there will be a lot of magnetic noise and other environmental factors that create noise. So we are using a noise filter. A good example is the open source algorithm Kalman filter. So by doing that filtration, we are filtering out noise, and then we fuse those both accelerometer data and the gyroscopic data and create a more accurate information about the position and the orientation, which is far more accurate than their raw values. If you look at, sorry, the picture is not clear. So there are several places that we can do this. We can do it on the sensor itself. The good example is MPU 9250, which it has a digital motion processor, which uses proprietary algorithms by InvenSense and create that sensor fusion that I showed you, like filtering out noise merging accelerometer, magnetometer, and gyroscopic information, creating a value set. So that is done on the chip, and then we can do the same thing on the Arduino Uno board. So that is on the microcontroller. So what you get is you get the raw data out of the sensor and process it on the microcontroller, or you can kind of offload that into a system, enterprise software system, which does the fusion of algorithms, cleaning up, noise filtering, those things at the enterprise system. It might be on cloud system, or it might be on the same network. So there are three places that we can do, but the best place is to do on the sensor itself, because it will be much faster, and it will be close to where the inputs are generated. And sensors is developed in a way that the algorithms that is being used on those sensors are specific to the inputs generated and the range of operation. So, but there are three places. So these are the kind of, this is the kind of general kind of introduction of the sensor fusion. So I have a demonstration that I have prepared, and so you can probably look at the demonstration after this talk. So the more details are available on my blog, like the circuit details and the graphs and the way that we have interfaced this. So I think it's the questions time. So my first question is, what is the name of the sensor that I have used in my sample?
MPU 9253.
Okay. Yeah, correct. MPU 9250. Okay, the second question is, what are the three sensors that I have used in my, okay.
Accelerometer.
Sorry, I can't hear.
Accelerometer, gyroscope, and magnetometer.
Accelerometer.
Signals get jammed.
Accelerometer,
gyroscope,
magnetometer, and gyrometer.
Sorry, the third one?
Accelerometer,
Magnetometer.
gyroscope, and magnetometer.
Okay, correct. So now here what I'm doing is, this is the sensor. So when I tilt or kind of do yaw and roll, the kind of plane that I'm showing, the visualization changes, right? So now there is sensor fusion happens on the sensor itself, and on the visualization we are doing a data fusion. Where I'm getting the XYZ values and creating a actual aircraft navigation behavior. So it is at the computer level. So that is the demonstration that I have. Thank you very much.